Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where we're going to explore the real cost per thousand of digital advertising campaigns, and then take a close look at growth hacking. You're not sure what growth hacking is? Well, that's why we're here, and you are watching us. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by Focus Vision, your single source solution for quantitative and qualitative research, including its latest edition, Research Reporter. Kellogg Company Senior Manager of Digital Strategy Kevin Sidell told the Path to Purchase Institute Shopper Marketing Summit here a few weeks ago about the harsh realities of digital advertising CPMs. Now, it's not a story that hasn't been addressed here on RBDR before, but we've only done so in the most general terms, namely that getting an accurate count of digital views may not be as simple as providers would want an advertiser to think. Sidell advised that advertisers focus on the percentage of impressions delivered to their targeted audience, and that is also not so simple. For instance, if your digital ad campaign is designed to create 10 million impressions, and this was an actual example from Kellogg's, you probably have to remove 5 million or 50% of the impressions because they're simply out of view of the actual target. Take out another million or 10% of the number because they're not in the correct targeted audience. And finally, drop 5 million more or about 1% of the original target because Sidell described those as excess frequency. His example, he explained, quickly turned a $7,000 CPM cost and planned $70,000 spend into a $20 CPM. Less spend, but also less reach. Moving on, the traditional definition of growth hacking, which dates back to its origins in 2010 through Sean Ellis, is a marketing technique that was originally proposed for technology startups that emphasizes creativity, analytical thinking, and social metrics with the goal of selling products and gaining exposure. Growth hackers focus on growth for the company and product lines through low-cost and innovative alternatives to traditional marketing. But market research also now has its share of growth hacking proponents as well as some experts. And one of them happens to be Kristin Luck, who in our latest edition of Coffee with Kristin discusses how she has applied it with research agencies, including her own in the past. And ironically, she spoke to us over a big cup of tea. Kristin, growth hacking is certainly a new term in the industry, but it's not something that hasn't been around. When did you first come across it?
Probably back in 2010. I was following this guy, Sean Ellis, on Twitter, who is sort of the industry growth hacker. And I realized that a lot of the principles that he was talking about, not just on Twitter, but in his blog and his website, were really practices that I had been utilizing throughout my entire career.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So exactly what is it? Because I've heard it as a term, but unless I want to Google it to see exactly what it is, I'm going to be at a bit of a loss.
Yeah. So growth hacking is a long-held practice by some of the best, Silicon Valley product managers. It's really about using non-traditional sales and marketing strategies, and in some cases, non-traditional product development strategies to really drive growth in a company.
Okay, and it sounds like it's something that research agencies could be and should be doing in self-examining themselves. So a couple of questions here. One, can a company look at itself and make judgments, do the examinations that growth hacking involves?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think market researchers, ironically, are perfectly positioned as growth hackers because at our core, we're data scientists, and that's really what growth hacking is. It's about looking at the metrics that drive growth and then figuring out how to tune those to create, more energy for your business.
And what exactly do you look at from a marketing perspective to see if it's working?
I have a whole list of key performance indicators that I look at, to see, sort of what's driving traffic for a brand. I think at the end of the day, there's really only one metric we all care about, and that is it generating business? And that could be lead generation or, actually close business, but that's ultimately the metric that we're trying to drive. I think that that's the beauty of of that sort of growth hacking or, make, test, learn cycle that the lean startup espouses, which is, it's so easy to test how your messaging is performing. I think, where a lot of people do get stymied is, how do I tweak this in a meaningful way so that I'm, getting better click-through rates, or I'm, getting more bid requests. And part of that is just experience. A lot of the messaging that we tested at Decipher, and certainly, that I've tested throughout my career, was just really through trial and error.
Okay, fine. So from what I also understand, there are 3 engines of growth that kind of play into growth hacking. What are these, and explain those to me?
Yeah, so there's 3 engines of growth. Again, these are lean startup principles, if you're familiar with lean startup. The first is sticky, the second is viral, and the third is paid. So if you have a sticky engine of growth, it means that you have a very high client retention. You're not losing clients. You don't have high attrition rates. And you are driving new clients in through the business, although, not at the same rate as a viral model. A viral model means just that. You have clients or users that are really serving as brand evangelists. They're out talking about your brand and creating energy for it. And that's a lot of the model that I've used throughout my career. And then the third is paid. And this is, I think, what a lot of companies rely on, which is a really expensive model of growth, but probably the one that feels most familiar, which is when you pay for advertising or you pay to have a sales team.
Our thanks to Kristin, whose new website, www.kristinluck.com, is up and running. And you can also reach her at kristin@kristinluck.com. That's your Research Business Daily Report, where we've been sponsored by Focus Vision, your single source solution for quantitative and qualitative research, including its latest edition, Research Reporter, which helps research teams become a source of competitive advantage via its technology platform, skills built into its technical team, and Focus Vision's client support operations. Our links to spell things out about Research Reporter is in the subscriber email and also in the description box directly underneath today's RBDR. So check that out. Have a great research day, and of course, we'll see you back here tomorrow.